Hi everybody, today I'm going to explain how absolute value works in algebra. So absolute value is these two lines that will go around a given number or term or set of terms, and it basically means this. It takes the number's distance from 0. So absolute value of 6 is 6, because 6 is 6 away from 0, but the absolute value of negative 6 is also 6 because it's also 6 away from 0, just in the opposite direction on the number line. Okay, now let's talk about the algebraic implications because those get a little more complicated. Okay, so here we kind of get an idea of what an algebraic absolute value expression will look like, where we have the absolute value of x plus 5 equals 7. So how do you treat this? Because you can't just ignore the absolute value and solve, because you'll be missing your solution. And it's really as simple as that. You just take both the positive and negative outputs of the function. And the reason is because, think of it this way. If we were to have the statement equal to the negative version, then that would go into the absolute value, right? Let's say x plus 5 equals negative 7, then negative 7 goes into the absolute value brackets, and we still get 7 as the output. So that's basically the situation. So if you just do the separate things, then you'll get the two solutions. Fun fact, you can see that 2 and negative 12 are actually 14 apart, which is 2 times 7. So that's kind of a funny little thing, but I wouldn't use it too much. So here we have an absolute value in kind of a larger function context. And so in that case, you can actually just get away with treating it like brackets. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to isolate it. So as you can see, you can actually kind of get away with isolating it through regular algebraic means, and then you can treat it exactly as usual, setting the other side of the equation to be both positive or negative. By the way, when you have a situation like this, you can actually just straight up treat it like parentheses, and here's why. When we take the square root of the function, we are left with a positive or negative output anyways, because squaring a number ultimately also makes it positive. So yeah, not much up with that scenario. It's also worth noting really quickly that when you're dealing with inequalities, you actually need to flip the sign for the negative answer. So yeah, keep that in mind. The last issue here is if you have an absolute value set to an absolute value. And the best thing I've been able to find through my research is that you just treat the absolute value on one side like a regular term, and it does yield one answer. So I'd like to actually fact check this with my TI-84 real quick, and we'll see if there's any other answers that I've missed with this method. It looks like this function has produced a linear graph. Let me change the window to see if it's actually linear, if we're just getting a kind of window error. And yeah, it seems like we're only getting one possible solution because it crosses the axis here. So yeah, it seems that this method does work.